from Danny Winget, also known as Super Scientific. So these are widely available as design studies for case manufacturers and that sort of thing. But this pretty accurately reveals what we're going to see this Wednesday when the phone is announced. So I didn't want to be the only one that didn't cover these dummies, so let's dig in to see what is new. So obviously, once again, we have two sizes, 4.7 inch and 5.5 inch, and for the most part, they have the same dimensions. The design differences are fairly minor, so they really consist of new antenna designs, new camera modules, as well as the elimination of the headphone jack. So I think the biggest design improvement here is the reduction of the antenna lines along the back. So they've actually eliminated part of them and rounded them off a bit. So I think this looks a lot better. It doesn't make it perfect, but I think it definitely makes a big design improvement. The other news here is some new cameras along the back. In terms of specs, we're expecting 12 megapixels, at least for the 4.7 inch model. And as you can see, the modules themselves seem to be quite a bit larger, so that could be the design of the casing, but this could also mean that we have larger optics with a more shallow depth of field. So the rumor is that we're getting an f1.9 aperture, so we'll see if that actually comes to fruition. The other big news here is that the Plus model, if this is called the 7 Plus, will actually feature a dual camera setup, and this is likely to work somewhat similar to the Huawei system, which combines a color sensor and a luminance sensor to create better low light images and just more vivid images. The other big news here is that they have eliminated the headphone jack, and instead we have this symmetrical design, so it almost looks like we have a set of dual speakers. But we're not sure if we're actually getting a set of dual speakers. According to the diagrams, we're not actually seeing a speaker behind these outlets, so hopefully it's more than just cosmetic, because that would be kind of disappointing if there's actually nothing behind them besides one microphone. There's also a rumor that we'll also have a more flush home button, so we're going to see if that's the case, but otherwise the design on the front pretty much looks identical to the current phone. The buttons along the side are also the same, so we still have a mute switch, and the power button is also in the same location, along with the nano SIM tray. In terms of specs, we should get the new A10 processor, perhaps 2 gigs of RAM, and we may see a 256 gig capacity option for the Plus models. And as always, colors are a big story with each new iPhone, so we're expected to get 2 new colors, a darker space gray and space black. So we've seen a darker space gray before, we've seen it on the Apple Watch, and we've seen it on the iPod, so we're finally seeing it on the iPhone. Space black is also a color we've seen before on the Apple Watch, which is actually one of my favorite colors, and I'm really excited that's finally making it to the iPhone. It's going to be a very different look for the iPhone because it has a glossy finish instead of the anodized finish that the iPhone has always had. Although Apple is expected to include a headphone adapter with the iPhone 7, there's a lot of benefits to using lightning connected headphones. For example, it provides a lot more power and can pass a lot more data over that connection. So for example, I have these really incredible Audis headphones, which uses a lightning cable with a built-in 24-bit DAC, which you can never power on a headphone jack.
Around the corner, there are leaks all over the place. And thanks to my friends B-Sound, you guys should definitely go check them out. They make some cool lightning headphones. I was able to get my hands on this, a little ugly. However, on the 7, it looks like they're cleaning it up a bit. Probably the most obvious difference is in the camera.